Okay, we're going to do two problems on this, 10 and 20. 10 should help you in terms of 7 through 11, as well as 1, 3, and 5 is 1, 3, and 5 is essentially the same as what you're doing here, except the triangle's not in any particular quadrant, it's just there. Okay, so if 10 they ask for the double angle for sine, cosine, and tangent, I'll probably do like I'll do cosine 2 theta and tangent 2 theta. Sine's a little easier. It's just 2 times the sine times the cosine ratio. So if I have theta in quadrant 4, just a quick reminder, you remember you always go over x down y in terms of making your triangle correct. Cosine's adjacent over hypotenuse, so adjacent's 40, hypotenuse is 41. That's a 9, 40, 41. Doesn't come up that often, you always use Pythagorean theorem. It's going down, so it's negative. So I'm deciding, for your homework, you're doing all three of them. I'm deciding to do cosine 2 theta. I will do it with the 2 cos squared theta minus 1 formula of the 3, as cosine 2 theta has 3 formulas. I'm deciding to use that one because I was given the cosine ratio, and I know for certain, one reason I'm doing it is because you have the cosine ratio, you know that's the correct ratio. And then I don't have to find the sine ratio as well if I use the cos squared minus sine squared. The downside of this is now we got to make 1 into the same denominators we're going to get out of this. So first, I know that cosine theta equals 40 over 41 because that was given. I could also go adjacent over hypotenuse and get it as well. And now I have 2. When I square that, I get 1600. And 41 times 41, or 41 squared, is 1681. And I know the 1 now, I want to combine with that, so I'm going to make that 1681 over 1681. So I suggest doing this ratio, calculating the fraction all the way. I am going to, on the same line, multiply the 2 and the 1600, so that's going to give us 3200 in the numerator. And then we're going to subtract the 2 of those, and that's going to give us 1519 over 1681. Done. Not a pretty fraction, but it's correct. Next, we're going to look at the tan 2 theta. So if I do tangent 2 theta, it looks like this. So tangent 2 theta is equal to 2 tan theta over 1 minus tan squared. So if we put that in fraction form, 2 with a fraction, 1 minus fraction squared. I go to the triangle and up here, and I look at theta, or tangent of theta would be -9, opposite over adjacent, -9 over 40. So I'm going to plug that in here. Say -9 over 40, -9 over 40. Simplifying the numerator gives us 18 over 40, which reduces to 9 over 20. So I have -9 over 20 divided by... Now my suggestion is doing the fraction first and then the 1 well, actually, yeah, I'm going to just calculate it because we're going to multiply by the LCD of the smaller fractions. So I have 1 minus -9 squared is 81, and then 40 squared is 1600. And note, for 40, or 20 in the numerator, is a factor of 1600, which is nice. So I got to find the LCD of the smaller fraction. So this fraction, that fraction, which is 1 over 1, and then this, the LCD would be 1600. You could also check it by just doing 1600 divided by 20, which is also a very straightforward, obvious factor. 20 is a factor. Multiply down there, up there, multiply up there. So again, the process of LCD is find the LCD of the smaller fractions and multiply the top, or the large fraction, by that LCD top and bottom, and then that 1600 line up with the numerator of the smaller fraction. So if we do 1600 divided by 20 would be 80, and then 80 times -9, that gives us -720. So all that simplifies to be -720. 1600 in the denominator gets distributed into 1 is 1600. minus 1600s when distributed into here cancel, so you're left with 81. And then we go ahead and simplify. We have negative 720 divided by 1519. So next we have number 20 here at the top where it says 2 cos squared pi over 8 minus 1. And what you're trying to do is determine which of the 3 double angle formulas you're looking at. So below here, not very clean, sorry about that, but I do have double angle formulas. You look here, the sine 2 theta one is 2 sine cos. Cosine double angle is cos squared minus sine squared, or 2 cos squared minus 1, or 1 minus 2 sine squared. Tan 2 theta is equal to 2 tangent theta, 1 minus tan squared theta. So up here we have to match this up with one of these. So I have a 2 cos squared minus 1. That's obviously not it. Cos squared minus sine squared, that's not it. This is it, 2 cos squared pi over 8 minus 1. So we now move to this is the right-hand side right here, and now we want to move to the left-hand side, which is cosine double angle. So I'm going to write it like this to just hopefully make it more clear. You don't have to do this. So this is the right-hand side, and I'm moving to the left-hand side, which is cosine double whatever our angle is over here. So whatever angle is this is theta. Theta goes right into here. So it's pi over 8. So I'm going to insert pi over 8. And now I'm going to simplify this. Sorry, it's kind of getting messy here. The 2 over 8 reduces to 1 over 4. So now I have cosine pi over 4. And since I can calculate that, I am going to. It is root 2 over 2. And that's your final answer for 20.